Have you ever wondered if the world's most successful people are all following some secret playbook? Well, today, we're going to try and find out. We're diving into the reported daily habits of the top 10 wealthiest people on the planet to see if we can decode their blueprint for success. Let's get right into it.
So this is the big question, right? Is there some magic formula, a specific time to wake up, a certain breakfast, a workout routine that just unlocks a billion-dollar mindset? That's exactly what we're here to investigate.
Okay, right out of the gate, we see our first major pattern. We're calling this one the intensity engine. These are the folks who seem to run on pure horsepower, thriving on super long hours and a totally hands-on approach to everything. And you could see this so clearly when you put Elon Musk and NVIDIA's Jensen Huang side by side. It's like they share this DNA of just pure intensity. Musk is famous for his 6-hour sleep nights and pushing through late meetings. Meanwhile, Huang's up at 5 or 6 a.m., ready to crush his most important work first. For both of them, the day is long, it's packed, and it's all about being deep in the details.
And this isn't just a tech bro thing either. Over in the world of high fashion, Bernard Arnault reportedly puts in a solid 12-hour day, personally checking in on brand and even store details. And then there's a reported memo from Google's Sergey Brin, where he apparently called a 60-hour workweek the sweet spot. For this crew, the philosophy is pretty simple. More hours equals more control.
But just when you think you've cracked the code, the complete opposite approach shows up. So welcome to the deliberate pace. This is a whole other philosophy, one that's all about rest, deep thinking, and making slow, strategic decisions. And nothing shows this clash of styles better than this. I mean, look at the showdown. You've got Musk on one side, with his 6 hours of sleep and a quick coffee. And then, on the other, you have Jeff Bezos, who is a huge advocate for getting a full 8 hours. He talks about puttering in the morning, taking it easy so his mind is sharp for the big decisions later in the day. It's a totally different energy.
Now take a look at this number, 5 to 6 hours. What do you think that could be? It's not sleep. For Warren Buffett, this is how much time he reportedly spends every single day just reading.
And you've got to understand, for Buffett, this isn't a hobby. Those 5 or 6 hours are his job. His entire legendary investment strategy is built on this foundation of slow, careful thinking. He's not just reacting to the market. He's absorbing information, thinking deeply, and then, only then, making a move.
Michael Dell gives us yet another flavor of this deliberate style. His whole approach is built around discipline and balance. We're talking early nights, morning exercise, and a clear focus on working smarter, not just harder. For him, it's about building a sustainable career. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Okay, so we have these two big competing ideas, raw intensity versus deliberate pacing. But there are a few other essential habits that don't really fit in either box. These are all about physical health, and pretty interestingly, the strategic use of privacy.
And this chart really breaks it down. For some of these leaders, what they do away from the desk is just as important as what they do at it. You've got Mark Zuckerberg with his intense MMA training, or Larry Ellison, who's all about outdoor fitness. But look at that third slice of the pie. Strategic privacy. That's a habit too.
This brings us to this really key idea, strategic privacy. It's not just about being a private person. It's an active choice. When you can't find much information about someone, like Google co-founder Larry Page, it's not a mistake. It's often a deliberate strategy to keep the focus on the work and to control their own story. And for someone like Page, this privacy is the habit. It creates the quiet space he reportedly needs for his main focus, high-level thinking, and working on new projects way outside of the public eye. So in a way, the lack of a public routine is his routine. All right, we've seen intense 12-hour days. We've seen quiet mornings with a book. We've seen MMA training, and we've seen strategic silence. Which, of course, brings us all the way back to our very first question. After looking at all of these different, sometimes completely contradictory approaches to a day, what is the one thing they all do? What's the single secret habit that ties them all together?
The simple and maybe a little frustrating answer is, there isn't one. The whole idea that there's a single blueprint for success that everyone can follow, yeah, it's pretty much a myth.
Because what this really shows us is that the secret is that there are many secrets. Success can look like relentless, pedal-to-the-metal intensity, or it can look like slow, deliberate pacing. It can be built on deep thinking, physical toughness, or even on privacy. The only real common thread isn't a specific habit,
but an intentional system that works perfectly for them and for what they're trying to build.
Their habits, as different as they were the engines that built their empires. So that really leaves us with one final, much more personal question. What habits are you building intentionally to construct your own version of success? Something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.